Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Outside the Box, No Filter Football, where we talk about footy without sugar coating anything. On today's episode, we'll be discussing two title races, the English Premier League and the Spanish La Liga title race. I am your host, Ray, and today I'm welcomed by my co-host, Jay. Jay, how are we feeling about this weekend's fixtures, especially regarding the Premier League? Talk to me.
Oh, how's it going, everybody? Well, as you can see, I'm wearing, since it was the retro fit at La Liga. I decided to come up with a retro Man City jersey. My
Hell
first
yeah.
Man City jersey. If you guys don't know, I know the fans have been asking. I'm a Man City supporter. It's been a crazy weekend. We got lots to discuss. Two title races, one of which I think is over. La Liga. I think Barca won that league completely with a loss by Real Madrid, right? Friday.
Yep. A 2-1 loss, and Barcelona won 5-1, I believe, 5-1. But yeah,
5-1.
I believe that title race is over. They're 9 points ahead. They do play each other in the last fixture of the league. And even then, if they win, they'll be 6 points ahead. But like by that time, I can't see Barcelona dropping points. Whereas Real Madrid hasn't been playing in form. They've had a couple of losses in the last 2 weeks. So I just think Barcelona basically won it this weekend. With 9 points being ahead, man, I can't see them losing.
9 points ahead. And especially the way Real Madrid have been playing recently, you can tell in the game on Friday, their supporters in the stadium, the fans, typically they boo when they play poorly in that stadium. But
yeah,
I feel like the fans were just done with it. They didn't even boo. They
were
just done, fed up.
Yep.
Frustration with the fan base.
I mean, there's been controversy like referee calls, and we know about this. We'll talk about it in another episode, but like the corruption in it, and everybody sees it. It's not just like, oh, I'm a Madrid fan, so I see it. No, like the calls they make are just so questionable. I mean, even it was an extra time, added time at the end of the game. Mbappe gets elbowed to the dome inside the penalty box.
That was
Literally,
pretty bad.
his head is cracked open, starts bleeding. Referee doesn't call a foul, no yellow. VAR doesn't interview. VAR actually said that they didn't know Mbappe was bleeding until after the game when they saw pictures in social media.
That's crazy to me because he was clearly bleeding in the game.
He was bleeding in the game. Everybody was watching it. Like the camera showed it. And they're like, nah, we didn't see it. We didn't see it till after the game. Like, come on, you know? But you can't blame it on just refs, you know? Like, even without the refs, they should be easily winning a game like that. Like, that's not a game they should be struggling in. And yeah, they're struggling. Right. They're struggling in a game where they should just be cooking them. And especially with the quality of players compared to a club like that, it's like, it's so frustrating to watch. You know, it's like, you know, their potential, but they're playing like in second gear when they should be playing at least in minimum fifth gear. And
what do you think about?
Go ahead.
Sorry to bother you, or interrupt you there. But what do you think about Bellingham? Because he hasn't started since what, January?
February? Well, he's been injured for months because he
he's been injured.
He had shoulder surgery.
And this was his first start, right?
Yeah, this was his first start.
This is his first start in the starting lineup on Friday. Did you think he played good? I heard good things about him.
I think he played good, but not to his peak how he was playing last season or even 2 seasons ago when they won the Champions League. Like, he wasn't playing up to that level. Clearly, I mean, he's just getting back in form, getting back in shape. Like, it takes a while. You're not going to be back to where you're performing at that performance level, at that high level, right off the bat, even against, like, another clubs. They're all professional players, you know? Regardless of their position in the table and regardless of what league, like, you're playing against professional players. So if you're not playing at 100%, you're not going to be outplaying other pro players. And I think that he needs to be I wouldn't say that he needs weeks, but slowly he's going to get more confidence, back to his level, perform the way he used to perform. And I mean, I want to see that because I mean that guy was cooking 2 years ago for us, and we need to see that again. We need that. Honestly, we need that.
I think they were cooking before Mbappe arrived. Don't you agree?
Well, I mean, they won the Champions League before Mbappe arrived.
And it was Vini. I mean, the original three was Vinny, Bellingham, and Rodrigo.
Well, Bellingham's cam, but forward was Benzema. But even after Benzema left, we had Joselu, which you wouldn't say is a striker for Real Madrid, like on paper. You know, he's not a Galactico by name. But he's one of the reasons we won that last Champions League because he cooked against Bayern. He showed up. He did his part. He played that number 9 role perfectly. And we've been struggling with Mbappe. The reason we've been struggling is because we got Mbappe and Vini that played the same position, essentially. Like Mbappe's been playing striker for the last few years, but he's still so used to playing left wing that I think it's just like natural, like kind of like muscle memory, just force of habit. He gets into the same positions as Vini. They do the same runs. They get in each other's ways because like they both like open space, use their pace, do something with the wings and actually create or score from those opportunities. And they get in each other's way. So then you have to switch the ball over. We don't have a direct right wing right now. So it's like it's a little chaos, but not in the chaos that favors Madrid usually.
And this was basically the starting lineup when they played against Girona. Because they had Vinny for Real Madrid.
Yes. Yeah.
They had Vinny. They had Bellingham, Valverde, Asensio, Militao. Asensio was a surprise starting lineup.
Yeah.
Right?
Asensio's not a starter. I was surprised he started. Like I would have preferred like Militao and Rudiger. I mean, maybe the coach was saving to play both of them for Champions League against Bayern, but Asensio was a surprise. I didn't expect him to play, but I mean, I'm glad that he played just to get minutes. But the fact that we lost, I mean, hindsight, I'm like, why did he start? But before the game started, I was like, oh, like yeah, he's finally playing again. Like that's good.
You think I think it's a coaching, no? I don't think he trusts Asensio because in the first half of the season he was playing. He was a regular starter, and I remember I was actually a fan of him because he just got that dog in him.
He got that dog in him. He does have that dog in him.
He's got that Sergio Ramos-esque in him, right?
Yeah. He has that little mentality of just like, all right, like you're gonna mess with my player, I'll mess with you, you know. And like he won't like foul you, but he'll be physical. He'll be very physical. And I mean, I like him. I think he's a really great player. But when you have like Militao, Rudiger, Dean Hodgson above you, like you're gonna have to take that third, fourth spot, you know. But for like games like, especially like these games, like you expect them to play and perform and like not concede 2 goals. That's my take on that part. Like it's like okay, but enough of that. We lost, and I think the La Liga race is over. I don't see Barcelona losing any of the remainder games, even if they lose one. I don't see them losing 3 games, even if they lose against us. I don't see them losing 2 more games plus that, you know? Like, I think the title race has officially, mathematically, it's not over. But for Barcelona to lose 3 more games in, I think, 7 more match days, like, I don't see that happening. I think this is the weekend where Madrid lost, Barca won. I think it's gonna essentially seal it. And so
I also believe that. I think this Real Madrid lost and the way Barcelona won on Saturday, I think they just gave them away the title. I think they just sealed the title.
Yeah.
I also don't see them winning or losing in the rest of the schedule.
Yeah.
And let's say Real Madrid let's say you accept that Real Madrid lost the La Liga title. You think it's a failure of a season? It has to be, right?
100%. Because if we don't win La Liga, which at this point, 10%, if that. 10% is being generous, you know? 10% chance of winning it. That's being generous. Only considering our form and Barcelona's form. All right? But Champions League. We're playing Bayern. If we win, which we'll talk about later. We'll talk about the fixtures, but just say Champions League, all right? If we lose that as well, if we get knocked out, then we're going another trophy this season. So it'd be 2 years in a row without any trophy. So yeah, for sure it's a disappointment of a season and it's unacceptable.
And it's crazy to me because the players are there. No? I mean,
Yeah,
you guys have
They have great players. You have players that legitimately any position you put them for any club in the world, at least
they're starting.
Yeah, starting at least, and I mean maybe like one or two clubs, just a few positions don't start. The rest, any single club in the world would take almost any single player on that team. Yet they can't consistently perform in the league, and that's just frustrating to see when you have that talent, that potential, but you're performing at second, third gear when you should be performing higher, and you're just not you're not cutting it. You're not cutting it. So it's like, do we need a change? Is it the coach? We had Xavi Alonso, great coach. Now we have the interim coach, and it's like, what's happening? You know, like you should be performing. You know, like you guys are players. Even without a coach, most of these players should be performing at that level, regardless. Like tactics are one thing, but as a player, you should be able to score, create, defend without relying on a coach's tactic. Like you've been playing since you're a kid. You know how the game works. You know, it's not going to be like, oh, this coach just said one thing today. I've never heard that. Like, nah, come on.
Especially at a club as prestigious as Real Madrid. You know what the demand is.
Yeah.
You know what the minimum requirements are per season, right?
And that's
Champions
to
League
win.
Minimum quarterfinals to reach, right? That's a minimum.
Yeah, that is the better minimum. I think I saw a tweet where it was like, in the last 16 years, Madrid has reached 14 out of the last 16 quarterfinals, which is phenomenal. That's something only Bayern could compete with because they've made the last 14 out of 15. So
yeah, and
any other club,
that just highlights the two biggest juggernauts out there in club football
in Europe. And Real Madrid. Yep. But all right, talking about the league, the Spanish La Liga, I think we're cooked. We're honestly cooked. I don't think we got an opportunity to win that anymore. Nope. No, sir. I think we're cooked in that one. So I think Barcelona has just won it. We're going to talk about the English Premier League and what happened this weekend. And in this weekend, oh my God, we got...
What a weekend.
Oh, what a weekend.
What a weekend has been.
If you are a hater like myself... you're gonna see that this weekend was phenomenal. It was great to watch. It was great to watch these games and just be like, hell yeah. Praying on the downfall. And it worked. Let's talk about first yesterday's game. Arsenal played against Bournemouth.
Okay.
And they lost 2-1.
Yeah, 2-1. Arsenal against 2-1. Those of you that are new or trying to get into football. Arsenal is currently first place in the Premier League. They've been first place since what, January?
No, even earlier, way earlier.
Earlier?
Yeah.
They've been first
for like a long majority time. Of the season. Majority of the season.
I'd say 70% of the season, right?
At least, minimum.
At least, right?
Yeah.
They just had a rough ever since international break, right? Or before international break.
Even before. They
lost against Man City in the Carabao Cup final.
Yep.
Then they went into international break, and then there was just this controversy about their players. They had 10, 11 players that were supposed to be sent to international duty, but have chosen not to go due to injury reasons. Injuries. Quote, quote, injuries. But yet they were saying,
quote, unquote.
Days later, all full practice, right? It's not surprised they want to save themselves for the big games coming up, Champions League and Premier League games. They come back to Premier League. What was first?
No,
the Premier League.
First game was FA Cup against Southampton last weekend, and they got eliminated.
They lost. They got eliminated. So they got eliminated by Man City. Carabao Cup final, international break. They come back.
Eliminated.
FA Cup. Eliminated by Southampton by FA Cup. Quarterfinals, right?
Yeah,
quarters. Then here comes Sporting game. They win. Sporting last week,
Barely.
but
Last
it
minute goal.
barely win, barely, and it was not. Arsenal fans are not too happy. They're relieved they won, but it was not a convincing win. They
It wasn't a
they played
pretty
defensive.
win.
They played defensive. They barely won. Last second goal by the man you expected to score least the least to score.
Yeah.
Harvard's.
Average.
And
then
so
they
now
come
this weekend, this
and
weekend
lose.
they play Bournemouth and lose 2-1 at home. At home, 2-1 against Bournemouth. And in this moment of time in the title race, when your whole goal is to,
put pressure on the
put
table.
pressure on the table.
Yeah, put pressure
Widen
on
the gap.
on Man City. Yep, widen the gap. And I don't want to talk about like individual performances for the Arsenal Bournemouth game yesterday, but I just want to talk about at least I watched the game. The game was at 4:30 in the morning. God damn it. But I watched the game, unfortunately, and it was a boring game. It was a boring ass game. And it's just like they lacked intensity, pressure, urgency. Like they were playing as if like maybe psychologically, since Man City was down 2 games and on the table Arsenal were up 9 points, so it's like, okay, like 9 points is a big stretch, but just I don't know what it was, but like the players are playing like they're like they already won the league. Like they didn't have a sense of urgency, no hunger, like that hunger of like we want to win this, we're going in there, we got this. Like no, they were playing like, all right, like this team,
they're playing like a mid-table team.
Yeah, they're playing like a mid-table team. They're playing like they're like, oh, we already won this. We already won this. And then the way they were playing is just like, man, like it was boring. It was so boring to watch. Bro, the keeper had the second most accurate passes in the entire team for Arsenal. Do you know how crazy of a stat that is? That your keeper.
You know what that means? It just means you were just passing it constantly.
You're just passing it back. And like it's like you're playing to win the league. Like why are you passing it back? Like attack. Like they're
playing
number one.
Conservative.
Yeah, you're number one in the league, bro. You're number one in the league. Why are you playing scared? Why are you playing fearful? Like you got the players on paper better than the team you were playing against, and like you're scared. Like this was the opportunity for you guys to essentially seal it. Like even if you guys were to lose next week against Manchester City, this was the opportunity to seal it. At least, like you're putting the paper on your hand. You're putting the ball in your hand. Like the rest of the games, it's on you. But now that you lost the game, this Arsenal club, I think for what the 4th time in a row, the 4th year in a row, they're about to play second. Like that's insane. You're choking so hard that you're about to play second and not win a league 4 times in a row. 4.
Arsenal fans are completely frustrated because they're just like, oh no,
not again. Is that GTA meme? Here we go again.
Oh shit! Here we go again. They went from quadruple to potentially winning the 4 trophies, right? At least the 3 domestic trophies, which is the FA Cup, Carabao Cup, and the Premier League. At least the domestic treble
and the champions, because they're still in the champions.
And the champions.
Yeah,
they get limited to Carabao Cup by Man City in the final. Southampton. They're about to get.
They just have a chance in the Champions.
Premier League.
Yeah, they're shaking the Prem. But I want to talk about is like today. I mean, this weekend. Yesterday we saw Arsenal lose, which then put the pressure on City to win today. Like it put that pressure, and the first half of the City game it was 0-0, and so even then I was watching the game and like City were playing poorly. I don't know if it was like Chelsea were defending very well or Man City was performing very bad. Like I couldn't tell because it was like that first half was like I almost fell asleep. I was like, damn man. But that second half, I don't know what kind of speech the coach Pep Guardiola gave them in the second half, but they came back and won 3-0 in the second half. They started cooking.
They played different, yeah.
Yeah, they played diffy at the second half.
Ryan Cherky was a big highlight.
He's him.
He's just coming off as a great Kevin De Bruyne replacement.
Signing.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's a bright future. Even when he was in Ligue 1, the French league, I would watch. I would watch highlights of him. Man, phenomenal player. When you guys got him, I was like a little jealous because I'm like, that's a great player. And
for the price we got him. For the price we got him.
What was it? 30 million?
What? 30 million? 30 million. After
most players sell for like
the same position. Wirtz went to Liverpool for 150.
130.
130.
Yeah.
How much were add-ons?
He plays so saucy. He's the second best midfielder in the Prem, right behind Bruno. Bruno.
Man.
But nah, the way City played today, I mean, they at least the second half. First half, second half, they came with hunger. They were like, okay, we need to win this game. We're going to win this game. They won the game 3-0, and now the goal differential for Arsenal Man City is only 3. For people that don't understand, goal differential is how many goals you score in every game and how many goals you concede every game. And there's a total throughout the entire season. Right now,
the difference.
What's up?
It's just a difference, like the
yeah. But I mean, explain for the people that do not know, and
they're new to soccer, want to get into
soccer. The ones that are new, the ones that want to get into, hell yeah, you got to learn the terminology and everything, you know. And Arsenal right now are 3 points or three goals ahead in goal differential, but Man City have a goal game in hand.
No, I mean they're plus 38. So here's an example for those that want to get this into the head. So Arsenal are in first place. They have scored 62 and have conceded 24. So the goal difference, GD, their goal difference is a plus 38. Okay? Because you just subtract 62 to 24, 38.
Yeah, do the math.
Man City have scored 63 but have conceded 28. So their goal difference is plus 35. Okay? So mathematically, there could be a situation in which
it ends in a tie.
It ends in a tie in points.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
By the end of the season. Okay, so here's another idea. So how they count champions is whoever ends up in first wins the league, right?
By points.
But what happens when they're tied in points?
They
look at the goal difference. Yep, goal difference. So that's why goal difference matters, especially in this scenario. Before today's game, Man City, Chelsea, there were a goal difference between Arsenal and Man City of 6 goals. Man City defeats Chelsea today 3-0. They scored 3 goals, so now the goal difference between Arsenal and second place Man City is 3 goals. And Man City still has a game ahead.
Game at hand.
And they play Arsenal this weekend.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. Let's talk about the fact that now, I believe, this is my opinion, but I believe this is the title deciding game. And I strictly believe that because Man City is in form, Arsenal is not in form. This game, if Man City wins, which is next Sunday, if Man City wins, they will be tied. Well, they'll still have a game in hand, but essentially, if they beat them, they'll be up plus 3 again. And if they win their game in hand, it'll be tied. And it'll all depend if Arsenal wins the remainder of their games, Man City wins the remainder of their games, it'll be up to goal differential. But I think the next weekend is the title decider because psychologically, it's going to have such an impact on both teams. If Man City wins, they know we got it in the bag. All we got to do is just win, win the remainder of their games. Arsenal, on the other hand, say they lose. Now they're like, damn, now we actually have to play more attacking footy and not rely on corners and free kicks and get that goal differential higher. That goal difference, get it high. But I can't see that. I can't see them performing like that. I think Man City is going to beat them 3-1. That's my take. What's your take? But I think next weekend, that's the title deciding game. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it.
It's an interesting week for sure for Arsenal because it's basically a turning point depending on the outcomes between the Champions League against Sporting and against Man City this weekend.
Yeah.
Because if, let's say, Arsenal win against Sporting, now they still have to concentrate on the semifinals of the Champions League after a Man City game on Saturday. So as a Man City fan, I want Arsenal to win Sporting to continue to have that pressure. They have more matches. They have more pressure. They got more matches. But
it's diabolical.
But they're gonna have to play their full squad both games.
Yes.
The good thing for Arsenal is they're at home against Sporting. But Saturday game is a away game at Manchester City at the Etihad Stadium.
Well, it's Sunday, and it's still, I mean, it's England, you know? It's not like they have to travel so far, you know? Like they go from London to Manchester. It's not insanely far, okay? But the problem is that, they're going to have to play this week against Sporting. And that's going to be a decider at that point, too, because if they win, they're going to have more matches in between league games, which at this point, do you decide, like, do we put it all in on both? Which I think, you should. You're still in both competitions. So, you're still going to put your full starters in both competitions because you kind of have to, you know? This isn't, the game in the weekend is just one of those domestic cups where we could put rotation players, you know? Let them perform. No. This is the league. You're in first place. You gotta put your starters. And Champions League, there's no way you're gonna rotate players. You want to win that competition.
So here's what I think. I think Arsenal, they do win at home against Sporting. I think.
We'll talk about it later.
Okay.
The Champions League fixtures.
The Champions League. Okay. Well, I'll say that. I'll just say that.
Yeah. Say what you need to say.
They went at home. They went at home against Sporting. And this away game is definitely going to feel like an away game for them because they just played the 3 previous matches at home. Southampton was at home, right?
I don't know, actually.
I think Southampton was at home.
But regardless, I mean, their form isn't great. Their form isn't great. Their form isn't great. They have a chance to make up for it again this midweek, how they did last week. Yes.
Sporting is at home. Now they play. They travel to Man City for a title contending game with the high pressure, and they haven't been playing. They haven't been playing offensively. They haven't been attacking. They haven't been displaying what a true first place Premier League team should be playing.
A champion.
They have not. Yeah. We criticize Liverpool for not playing how a defending Premier League champion should play. And we're criticizing Arsenal for not playing how a first place champion should play. Like Man City is hungry. They're out of the Champions.
They smell blood in the water. They legit smell blood in the water, and it's smelling kind of good.
You can tell there was 0-0 at halftime. Something clicked. They knew they had to go for it.
They got a speech, bro. They got a speech. They got some sort of speech.
They got it.
They got it.
So I think Man City beats Arsenal by at least 2 goals. By a 2-goal difference.
All right. Let's talk about the other elephant in the room.
Okay.
For those of you that might not know a lot about English football, Tottenham Hotspur is one of the biggest clubs in England. Regardless of how trash they might play, they are legitimately one of the biggest clubs. I mean, they just built a new stadium. What was it, like 1 billion, 2 billion to create that stadium, like to build it? And right now, after this weekend, so current time, they are sitting in 18th place, which would mean they would get relegated at the end of the season. There's still 6 more games to play, but at the moment, they are standing in relegation. And nothing will make me happier. Go ahead, because I was about to.
Crazy. So Friday, West Ham defeated the Wolves. So before, West Ham was in the 18th place.
Yes.
If they were to win, they'd put Tottenham in the 18th place. So those are new to this. There's 20 teams in this league. The last 3 teams in the bottom of the table get relegated to second division. 17th place, 18th place was West Ham. they were battling with Tottenham. I mean, if you look at goal difference and the points, it's very close.
It's super
But
close.
West Ham win. West Ham win with a convincing win, something that Arsenal cannot do. 4-0 win.
Shots. God damn.
4-0 against Wolves. They said we staying alive, staying alive. So now that puts a pressure on Tottenham Sunday against Sunderland. Tottenham knows that they have to win, and they end up losing. They lose anyway.
They know that they've been having to win every game, but they're just performing so atrocious that they don't even. This is their third coach this season. Their third.
It had to be.
Yeah. And
it was his debut. Imagine
it was his debut
in this game,
and they still lost. You know, nothing will make me happier to see this team get relegated.
Oh yeah, something about these London teams, man. It's just ain't clicking. It's just.
I will say this. I'll say this. Like, I'll stay as unbiased as I can, and if that team is performing, I'll give them their flowers. But man, I hate that club. I despise that club. But I will say, if they're popping, like when they had Kane and Son, oh man, like there was nothing. I couldn't say anything bad. Like they are cooking. You know, when a team that I don't like is still cooking, I'm not someone that says, oh man, like nah, they did whatever. It's like no, they're cooking. Like with Barcelona, I mean, team I don't like, but I give them their flowers because they perform. They're playing footy. Yamal's a beast. Like I give teams and players their flowers even if I don't like the club, you know? Like I'm still going to be as unbiased as I can. But I will be so happy if this team gets relegated. Imagine next season, second division, and every single club in the championship has to go and perform and play at a $2 billion stadium.
Yeah, and to put it in perspective, so the Tottenham Stadium in London, that's the stadium where the NFL hosts the international games. The international games that they host in London is in Tottenham Stadium. Just to give us perspective of how big that stadium is and how much they've added, they've renovated. So the pitch transforms into that way it can perform, and they're able to for the NFL. They have like rules and regulations.
The fields get swapped.
Yeah, the fields get swapped because the NFL's is more narrow but longer than a soccer field. So imagine $2 billion investment on this stadium just to play in a second division. It's completely just as wild. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And we made a couple of predictions before the season. I made a prediction that Wolves and West Ham were going to get relegated. Sunderland was not. They're going to be up there.
Yep.
But Tottenham?
I never expected this. Tottenham? Never.
Who expected Tottenham?
Never. But I mean, it makes me happy.
As a Man City fan, they've been on thorn every year.
Oh,
they've
for a
been
while.
On thorn.
Yeah.
You know, so they go. That's a free 6 points for us next season.
All right, the best club in the Prem doesn't play till tomorrow against Leeds, but we're gonna move on and talk about the the Champions League fixtures coming up this weekend. We're just gonna give a quick take. We talked about it last episode a little, but just a little quick reminder of what we're expecting for this weekend, especially considering the forms these teams had in the weekend. All right, let's talk about on Tuesday, Atletico Madrid versus Barcelona. Right now, Atletico Madrid is up 2-0 on aggregate against Barcelona. I believe Atletico Madrid will either go for... I think the scoreline is going to be 1-1 or they're going to lose 0-1. So aggregate-wise, they're still going to win. They're either going to win 3-1 or 2-1. That's my prediction. I'm not going to go into detail until we watch the game afterwards. We'll give another pot about it. But that's my prediction about it. I think Atletico Madrid win on aggregate. I think Barcelona is going to go in attacking. Atletico Madrid is going to defend for their lives, or they're going to make them believe that all they're going to do is defend and like have a countermeasure for a counterattack, since Barcelona loves the high line, and they're going to they know Barcelona needs to attack. So I will say Atletico Madrid is going to advance because they're already up 2-0 and they're playing at
home.
The what? The Metropolitano.
Metropolitano.
There you go.
The
My bad.
Metropolitano.
Can't speak Spanish.
I also think Atletico Madrid is gonna win. I hope they advance. They're up 2-0. It just depends because Simeone, the coach, has stated that he's got a plan, but we all know his plan in every single game is just defensive.
Debatable.
You think it's debatable?
Not this season. Not this season. Nah. He's changed his philosophy a little.
But I believe, I think it'll be more offensive than what we have seen last week. I hope it is because he knows that if he's so defensive, Barcelona is just gonna congest that midfield. They're gonna be winning every ball in the midfield, and they're gonna be creating double the chances than Atletico Madrid.
Yeah.
I think Atletico Madrid advances. I think they win. I think they win 2-1 in this game. 2-1 Atletico Madrid. Yeah.
Okay, so aggregate 4-1. Wow.
4-1.
Okay, and for those of you that do not know what aggregate means, it means the end result of two different games, two legs, the combined score, So if you win the first game 2-0, say for example for this game they win 1-0, the aggregate score would be 3-0. And say the first team won 2-0, but in the second leg they lose 0-3. That means the opposing team advances because they won 2-3 in total. That's what aggregate means.
It's a home and away game. Both games. One's at like the first game, for instance, was at Barcelona Stadium. And now the second game on Tuesday is going to be at Atletico Madrid Stadium. So now it's just a combined score.
Yep.
And if it happens to be a tie, they go to overtime and then they go to penalties, and that's just
another animal. Let's go to Liverpool versus PSG. Liverpool's losing 0-2? Yeah, 0-2. They're losing 0-2. They're playing at Anfield, so I mean at least they have their home crowd. But considering what PSG did to Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, I don't think Liverpool even has a chance at this game. I think the end result for just this game is going to be 1-4. So aggregate, it's going to be 1-6. That's my take. I feel like PSG they're just going to cook them. They're going to cook them nasty. Like I think Liverpool legitimately has zero chance. I will say though, they did win 2-0 this past weekend. They played Salah. They played some left winger. It's a 17-year-old kid. God damn, that kid was cooking. He was cooking.
Rio.
Rio. Yeah, Rio. His name's Rio. I was surprised, genuinely surprised. That kid was like cooking. So yeah. I don't think Slot has the balls to play him this game. Champions League matchup, second leg. He's not going to risk it, but he could. Regardless.
Yeah, he could. He definitely could. He was out there creating chances. He was taking shots on target. He was making good centers. He's got the technical capabilities. He's definitely he's definitely a perfect
what you want from a winger.
Diaz replacement right there.
Yeah. For next season.
I think this match, PSG they did not have their league game. It was postponed. It seems like all the League One, the French league is supporting PSG.
I thought they played Friday.
No, they
no. Keep going. I'm watching. I'm checking.
They can play their whole starters: Vitinha, John Evans, Emery, Kvaratskhelia, Dembele, Dewey. Sometimes they switch between Dewey and Barcola.
Yeah, I think right now Dewey is performing better. So you have Kvaratskhelia left wing, Dembele at striker, and
Desiree
Dewey at right wing. But what works very well for this team, and you're right, they postponed the game. But what works very well with this team is that those three can interchange positions at any given moment. Dembele could go to the left, Kvaratskhelia the striker, Dewey at right. Same thing. Dewey at left.
The way they rotate.
Dembele at right. Yeah, they're able to interchange between all three positions up top, and it works. They're not like, oh, I've never played this position. I don't know what to do. No. The way they just interchange confuses the defense as well. Because like if you got a left back that's playing against the same left wing for 90 minutes, you kind of get like their habits, what they're going to do. Are they going to go left? Are they going to go right? Like you more or less know, especially with film. But then when you got them interchanging within the game for 90 minutes, all three players, man, that confuses the hell out of you. And then you're second guessing every single thing you do. Because then at that point, too, you're like, all right, like, what is he going to do in this position? Is he going to play the same as the last player that I was defending? Oh, it just messes with him so hard, you know?
It does, because you either play man to man, so you grab a guy, you know that's your guy, you gotta follow him, but you also don't want to get out of your own position, right?
Yeah.
Or you play zone, where you just play your zone, and if he gets out of your zone, you just brush it off to your teammates' zone. Like, oh, that's his job. You know what I mean? I'm getting my zone.
Yeah.
Either way, it totally confuses the defense.
Oh yeah, and that's and it works. It works. They've been so saucy. They're fluid, and they're in fifth gear right now. They are cooking. They're playing very well. I genuinely 5% Liverpool advances. 5%. I'm gonna say 0, but I will say 5%.
And the 5% means PSG get a red card in the 5th minute.
Yeah, and that'll give them the 5% chance.
And Liverpool score a goal within 5 minutes after that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't see Liverpool winning. I just
put
can't.
The fries in the bag, Liverpool.
And this is unbiased. It's just how they've been playing all season.
Yeah, they haven't performed well. Yeah.
And the way PSG have been playing all season. It's just,
especially right now. I mean, the last couple of weeks. Whew.
Especially
God
right now.
Damn.
I think they are very favorites to reach
the final
for the Champions League. It's gonna be I think PSG wins 2-0.
Okay. All right. Both of us have PSG going through. Let's talk about the next game, which is Arsenal Sporting. I'll let you talk about it first, since you want Arsenal to win. Talk about it.
Arsenal Sporting, they're at home. Arteta knows, especially after this loss against Bournemouth, the players have to know. The coach, they have to know. They gotta go all out. They're gonna do it for themselves. They're gonna do it for the fans. They're gonna do it for as like a emotion booster. You know what I mean? What do you call it? Like a
morale boost.
A morale booster. And they're playing at home, and from the fans, they want to see the Arsenal perform at the highest level they want to see,
which they haven't
been. But nonetheless, I think Arsenal wins 0-0. They might as well. I'm just kidding.
0-0. All you said was they're gonna attack, they're gonna perform, they're gonna play for the crowd. I got them 0-0. That's insane.
I think they win 1-0.
Okay, 1-0. So aggregate 2-0. All right, I got a different opinion. I think Sporting barely lost 0-1. They barely lost, and they were at home. It was at the end, extra time. Hold up. I'm not done, bro. I think Sporting will score 1-0, and it goes to extra time. I think it goes to penalty. I think aggregates 1-1, goes to penalties, Arsenal advance. But I think it's gonna be a very close one. I genuinely think it's gonna be a close one. Yeah, but I mean, Arsenal is the favorite. I think Arsenal, if they come actually ready, they'll win the game 2-0. If they come performing how they did this weekend, I think it'll go to extra time and then penalties. That's the way I see it. But I have Arsenal advancing. That's the way I'll see it for now. Arsenal are advancing. And now let's talk about the last matchup. Bayern Munich versus Real Madrid.
Bayern Munich versus Real Madrid. What a
Who
match.
do you got advancing? Right now the score is 2-1.
2-1. Yeah, 2-1.
Yeah, 2-1. 2-1.
Real Madrid, they kind of have to accept the La Liga is far out of reach.
Yeah, agreed.
They have to go all in. Yep. And it's going to be a tough all in against Bayern at Germany.
Phenomenal team.
Phenomenal stadium, phenomenal fan base.
Players.
It's just as intimidating as going against Real Madrid at the Bernabeu. It's just as intimidating. I think I think Bayern win. I think Bayern advance. They have just as good a squad as PSG.
Yep.
Real Madrid, they have not been playing as convincing as how they should be playing.
Agreed.
And Bayern, you can tell, just like PSG, they've been on a run lately. They got they got world class wingers, Luis Diaz and Michael Olise. Michael Olise, which personally I think should be rated number one on the Ballon d'Or right now, ahead of Lamine Yamal. That's another conversation.
For
They
another
have
day.
Harry Kane, who has been uh, having some defensive capabilities, going back and recovering balls, which is insane. He's been scoring. They got a world class keeper, Neuer, who's still doing his thing. He just got man of the match in his last game against Real Madrid. I think Bayern wins. 2-0.
2-0.
2-0.
Okay. All right. So aggregate, you have them 3-1. Okay. I definitely have a different opinion, and it's not just bias. Like Madrid lost the first game, 2-1, but also their goalkeeper, Bayern's goalkeeper Neuer, had a phenomenal game. He won man of the match because the amount of saves he had, but it wasn't just the amount; it was just the quality. Like there were some world class saves. I know the difference is now they're playing at Bayern, so like yeah, they're gonna have the home base, they're gonna have the fan base, they're gonna have everything there on their side for their favor. I think Madrid definitely has that opportunity. It's only one goal difference for a club like Madrid as well, with the comebacks they've had in the last 10 years against all these different clubs. They've won 15 Champions Leagues, 15. And a lot of those have been from comebacks you would never think or imagine of happening, and they make it happen. We're only down one goal. Bayern, I will say, is the better team for sure. Bayern is definitely the better team just because the way they play the system, the players, I wouldn't say every single position, but I would say 50-50 on the players from forwards to defense to midfield. I have Madrid winning. Damn. I was going to say 2-1, but then that means it goes to extra time and then it goes to penalties.
They could win at penalties.
I'm going to say 2-1 penalties, Real Madrid.
If they go penalties, I know Real Madrid is so lucky on penalties.
Lucky? You mean saucy?
So lucky.
Hey, I'll say this. I'll say this though. If it goes to penalties, Madrid wins. But I will also say I think Bayern is the better team. I genuinely do think they are the better team, unfortunately. But only being one goal down and the amount of opportunities we had in the first game, I think we have a very great chance of winning this game. And I will say Madrid wins it 2-1. I'm going to say 2-1.
Actually,
goes to extra time and then penalties.
If they go penalties, Lunin, is he goalkeeper?
It's going to be Lunin.
I think Neuer is just a better goalkeeper. You know what? It's because I was thinking Courtois, but I keep forgetting.
I mean, Courtois is different. If Courtois played the first game, that game wouldn't have ended 2-1. It would have been like 1-1.
But in terms of penalties, Courtois is just such a good.
Oh yeah, but we don't have him. But we also have great penalty takers.
Yeah, that's true.
Regardless, you have Bayern advancing. All right.
You have Real Madrid advancing.
Yeah. This is my prediction. I have Madrid advancing at penalties. That's right. My take on it. I think they win 2-1.
Okay,
which will go to extra time and then penalties.
That's pretty fair.
All right. So
I could see that.
Those are all the teams we were going to talk about, the fixtures, the title races. We will be having an episode most likely actually on Tuesday, because we'll talk about the first 2 games on Tuesday, so that way we could just focus on both of those games instead of relying on 4 teams on Wednesday. I'm your host, Ray. Co-host, Jay.
All right. Well, thank you guys for coming in. It's been a great weekend, fantastic weekend. We got some even more pleasure week coming up. Stay tuned, and we'll be back.
Yeah.
Thank you again.
Catch you guys on the next one. Thank you.
Have a good night.